Hello and welcome or welcome back to Bookmark Chronicles. Today I'm doing the spoiler tag. The first time I saw this tag was over on Veronica's channel, so I will link her video below. And the original creator of this tag is Gunpowder, Fiction, and Plot, so I will also link their original video in the description. All right, so there are 9 questions. The first question is, what do you consider a spoiler? For me, a spoiler is something that could potentially ruin my enjoyment of the book, like something that I'm not supposed to know, that if I know, I'm not gonna be surprised anymore. I like being surprised when I read. So anything that would ruin that is a spoiler. Content warnings are not spoilers. Question number 2 is, does the genre you're reading impact what you consider to be a spoiler? I don't like spoilers, period, for anything. However, the genre that I would hate to have spoiled the most is probably mystery or thriller. I feel like there's always some sort of plot twist that comes along, and I feel like if you know that, then it kind of ruins the reading experience. For example, The Silent Patient. I reread that book. Don't do that. It's not worth it. I reread it because I wanted to see, now that I knew what was going to happen at the end, if I could pick up on any clues. The problem with The Silent Patient, though, is that there aren't any clues. Like, that person is just an absolute psycho. 3, all the best bits are in the trailer. Sometimes the synopsis can be too detailed. Do you research books prior to reading them, or do you prefer to know nothing about the book? I typically know nothing about books before I read them, not necessarily because I don't want to know, but I do like going into things sort of blind, or I just go off of what other booktubers say. So if I watch a video and somebody's like, this is about XYZ, I'm gonna be like, okay, that's about XYZ. I don't need to read the synopsis. They just told me what it's about. Question number 4, sometimes the introduction or translator notes can spoil the ending, especially for classics. Has this ever happened to you? No, I don't think so, and I'm not a fan of classics. I am not the kind of person who thinks that classics are classics for a reason. I kind of feel like classics are classics because they were typically written by old white men, just saying. And I don't think I've ever read anything where the introduction or translator notes have ruined it, so. Question number 5, name a time somebody spoiled a novel for you. It was the first time that I read The Hunger Games. I was either just finishing Catching Fire or had just started Mockingjay, and someone told me what happens to Prim. And like, they knew that I was reading the story. So they said XYZ, and I was like, you bitch. And they were like, oh, I thought you knew. And I was like, this is my first time reading it. You've seen me with them. And they were like, oh, well, sorry. Like, don't fucking do that. I hate that. So yeah, I was prepared for that, and I feel like it definitely would have been more of a shock if that person hadn't said anything. Question number 6, have you ever spoiled a novel for somebody else? No. I don't like spoiling for other people, and I do have people constantly ask me like, oh, what happens at the end of this, or have you read this, how does this end, or is it like the TV show or the movie or whatever, and I won't tell them. Read it on your own. Question number 7, if spoilers ruin novels, are there some authors or genres you can't reread? So I know some people believe that mysteries and thrillers are like a one-time sort of situation, and I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I feel like The Silent Patient is kind of an outlier because typically there are clues that lead you up to whatever reveal is going to happen later, and in that book they just didn't exist. But no, I don't think I would not reread any other books or genres, because I feel like if I reread When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole, I would still feel the same way that I felt the first time, because the shit that goes on in that book is just creepy as hell. So question number 8, when reviewing, are you spoiler free? Does this limit your ability to discuss? So I do my spoiler free thoughts first, and then I go into spoilers. One, because if there are other people that read it, I would know what they thought about the spoilery events, but also because I don't want to spoil for anyone, so I always give a spoiler alert before I jump into spoilers. Question number 9, shout out. Tell us 5 channels you enjoy and then tag them. Robin and Dasha, of course, and then Rachel, Shauna, and Nicole. That is the spoiler tag. Let me know how you feel about spoilers and what you consider to be a spoiler. I pretty much don't like to know anything about certain books or most books before I go into them, so I prefer to not know anything. I had a conversation with a few people on TikTok who do not like to be surprised at all, so they will look up the ending of a book and still continue to read it. And I think that's wild, but Let me know which category you fall into. Otherwise, that's all I have for you today, and I'll see you in the next video.